Do you know a guy who talked to a kangaroo?
Hi there.
Who's always ready to learn about something new?
Wow.
Whose favorite book has all the animals you could wish? Who's proud to say his best friend is a fish?
That's right, it's my man Stanley.
Oh yeah, it's my man Stanley.
Welcome to Stanley's World. Come help him figure out what life is all about.
Who takes you swimming with dolphins?
Oh yeah. Laughs with a lion too.
Cool.
No problem Stan can't solve. It's solving it involves having a friend like you. Having a friend like you.
It's Stanley.
It's Stanley. With a friend like you.
It's Stanley.
It's Stanley.
It's Stanley.
The way of the buffalo.
Pretty soon we'll have a yard filled with lots of clean and well-fed birds. Uh-huh.
I see the first birds are already on their way.
Hey, guys, guess what? A new professional soccer team is coming to town, and they've asked me to design an animal mascot for them.
That's great, Dad. What's an animal mascot?
It's an animal that the team gets its name from. Usually there's a picture of the mascot on the uniform.
Like the Chicago Bears or the Detroit Tigers.
What kind of animal does the soccer team want you to draw?
They haven't decided yet, but they are open to suggestions.
Cool. Can we help?
Absolutely. Follow me.
What are we waiting for?
Mascots.
Yeah, boy!
I'm painting a fish as my mascot. It's a watercolor.
What animals did you choose?
I'm drawing an elephant. I think it would be a neat mascot. Because elephants are big and strong.
Guess what I'm drawing? A cheetah. Because cheetahs are really fast. Well, I'm drawing a kangaroo. Because kangaroos have strong legs.
What about you, Stanley?
I still can't decide.
Stanley? Where did all that paper come from?
I keep changing my mind.
Well, you'd best slow down or you're going to run out of paper. How about deciding on an animal before you start another drawing?
I got it.
Oh, you've decided on your mascot?
No, but I did figure out why I'm having so much trouble. How come, Stanley? 'Cause I'm thirsty. I need some juice to help me think better.
Well, I suppose a nice, refreshing beverage might help.
Do any of you want some juice?
Yeah,
I love juice. What animal should I draw? Whoa!
Stanley! You left the refrigerator door open.
I did?
Leaving the door open wastes a lot of electricity.
Sorry, I didn't know.
It's okay. Just try to remember from now on. It's like turning out the lights when you leave a room.
I'll be more careful, Mom.
Stanley?
Coming, Dad. I'll be right back.
Stanley, were you using the hose?
Yes.
Well, next time, you need to turn it off when you're done. You wasted a lot of water, son.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Just try to remember from now on.
I will.
Stanley! Stanley, what is this pile of paper?
I was trying to draw a mascot, but I kept making mistakes and starting over.
You sure used a lot. You have to be careful not to waste things like paper.
Or electricity.
Or water.
Yeah, but...
Just because there seems to be a lot of something doesn't mean it will last forever.
Now clean up, please.
Okay. Okay, Stanley. Man, can I make more mistakes in one morning?
Well, everyone makes mistakes, Stanley. The important thing is understanding why it was a mistake.
That's just what I don't get, Dennis. There's so much paper in Dad's office, boxes and boxes of it, and we always have plenty of electricity and water. How could we ever run out?
Well, that certainly is something to think about, isn't it? Well, I suppose anything that we use, no matter how much there seems to be, can run out.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, but you know, Stanley, I think I might have the perfect choice for your mascot.
Really?
Well, I know that many teams choose animal mascots from their area.
Yeah, but what animals are from around here?
I'm from around here. How about trying a dog?
Actually, I was thinking about the bison.
A bison would be great, Dennis. But there aren't any bison around here, are there?
I know one way to find out. And if we're quiet about it, no one else needs to know.
You mean the great big book of everything?
Ixnay, Ixnay.
It's the great big book of everything with everything inside. See the world around us. This book's the perfect guide.
Oh, how I wish they'd run out of song lyrics.
Let's find out if bison roamed round the place called Stanley's home.
Let me see. A, B, bison. I thought this was a buffalo.
A lot of people call it a buffalo, but officially it's called the American bison. Do you want to find out more about it?
I sure do. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Into the book to have some fun. Whee! I don't see any bison.
Neither do I.
But I do kind of recognize this pond. And this stream.
Good eye, Stanley. You play here all the time. This is the park right next to your house.
It is?
Well, at least this is what it looked like 150 years ago.
But where are all the buildings?
Well, back then, there wasn't any town, just prairie. And there weren't any people, just...
What's that noise?
What? Bison! Quick! Let's get up that tree! Phew, that was close.
Can we go down and get closer?
I don't think that's such a good idea, Stanley. They're very large. In fact, the bison is the largest land animal in North America.
But they look so cuddly.
That's because they have fluffy hair on their head, neck, and hump.
Cool. I wonder how big this herd is.
Maybe you should use your stethoscope to find out.
Wow, there's so many.
150 years ago, giant herds with thousands of bison roamed across the American plains. In 1850, there were 20 million bison in America. That's also how many people there were. But by 1890, there were less than 1,000 bison left.
Less than 1,000? That's a big difference. What happened to them?
People hunted buffalo for fun. It was so bad that now, when people talk about something disappearing, they say that it went the way of the buffalo.
How did they survive?
Well, a few smart people realized that there was a problem and started looking out for them. And now there's lots of bison again. They realized that just because there's a lot of something doesn't mean it will last forever.
That's what my mom and dad said about the paper and the water and the electricity for the refrigerator.
It's called conservation, Stanley.
Conversation? Well, she did most of the talking.
No. Conservation. To conserve something means you save it and make sure it doesn't run out.
You mean like fresh water we use for drinking?
And the trees that are used to make paper.
Oh, and bison.
Think how awful it would have been if all the bison had disappeared. Wouldn't it be awful if we lost those other things too?
Whoa. I guess Mom and Dad were right.
Well, that does happen once in a while.
Yeah. Let's get back. I want to draw bison while they're fresh in my mind.
How are you doing, Stanley?
Good. I'm sorry I wasted water, electricity, and paper today.
Sweetie, do you understand what we meant about wasting things?
Yes, conservation is important, even for things that seem like they'll last forever. After all, I wouldn't want trees and water to go the way of the buffalo.
Wow, Stanley. I am really impressed.
So, what are you drawing?
It's a bison. It's my idea for a mascot for the soccer team.
It's really good, Stanley. What's this?
That was my first try. I used the back of the sheet to save paper.
That's great, Stanley. You really get it.
Well, I know two things you can never run out of.
Really? What?
Hugs and kisses. Mwah.
I can't believe that bison used to live in the same park where I play.
And I can't believe they almost disappeared forever. They sure are pretty.
And big. The largest animal native to North America.
That's right. I guess even big guys need someone to look out for them.
I'll remember that. And I'll remember to conserve.
And that's a great idea. Can you think of something you can conserve?
Sure, I know.
What?
Electricity. Good night, Dennis.
Good night, Bison Boy Stanley. Follow that Falcon.
I am so psyched to spend the weekend with Grandma Harriet in the city.
It's a lot bigger than I remember.
You were so little the last time we visited Grandma Harriet. I'm surprised you remember anything at all.
Yoo-hoo! I am so glad you're here. I'm sorry I'm late. My yoga class ran over, and on my way here, I had to switch streets because they're filming some big Hollywood movie on 3rd. Hi, Stanster. Hey, Lionel. Are you two excited for a fabulous, fantastic, fun-filled weekend in the big city?
You know it, Grams. What do we do first?
Well, it's a beautiful day for a stroll. Let's walk back to my apartment. That'll give you a chance to see the city a bit, and then we can do all the things I have planned for us this afternoon.
So, Stanley, what do you think of the city so far?
Well, there sure are a lot of people, Dennis. And everyone's moving so fast. Hey! Oh, wow, Dennis. Look at all these birds. That's a parrot and a cockatoo and a... Ah! Dennis! Where'd they go? Hey, guys. I thought I lost you.
Stanley, you have to make sure to stay very close to us, even closer than you would at home. With so many people in the city, it's very easy for us to get separated.
Okay, Dad.
Now we better hurry up before we both get lost.
Wow, Dennis. Everything happened so fast here. I only went to look at the birds for a second. I guess I can't really run around in the city.
Oh, I have to tell you all about this statue. This is a statue of Phineas Foghorn, a famous naval captain who was the first to bring... And voila! It was a huge success. Isn't that fascinating?
Wow, sure is loud in the city. How can anybody hear anything?
Wow, Grandma Harriet. Your apartment is great.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Well, thanks, boys. I redecorated after my last trip to Tokyo. Oh, before I forget, I brought you both a little something back from that trip. Like this CD for Lionel.
Horseradish Heroes. No way. Thanks, Grandma H.
And for Stanley, my favorite animal fan, I got you this toy Japanese beetle. You wind it up and whoosh, it zooms around.
Oh, cool! Hold up
Stanley. Sorry, Mr. Vasquez.
Grandma, how come you're apologizing to the floor? And why did you name it Mr. Vasquez?
Mr. Vasquez isn't my floor. He's my downstairs neighbor. And when you run on my floor, you're running on his ceiling.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Vasquez.
It's all part of big city living, Stanley.
Yeah, it sure is different here. Dennis, I'm not sure I like visiting the city as much as everyone else.
Really? But there's so much here, Stanley. Opera, art galleries.
I know. I was really excited about coming here. And I love seeing Grandma Harriet.
Yes, she's very nice.
But I just don't know. I guess the city is just too big. There's so many people, and it's really loud. And I can't run around outside or inside. It isn't like home.
Yes, that's true. But every place has good things and not so good things about it. Maybe you just need to look harder for the good things.
Yeah, like animals. I'll use my stethoscope. I see buildings, bridges, buses, but Dennis, I don't see any animals.
Oh, I assure you, Stanley, the city is full of animals. Squirrels, pigeons, mice.
Hey, a falcon!
Oh, no, I don't think falcons can live in cities. They only live in the wild, don't they?
But Dennis, I saw a falcon. Are you sure they don't live here?
Well, I know where to find out. And since Harry and Elsie are at Mimi and Marcy's for the weekend, it's safe to say it. The great big book of everything.
It's the great big book of everything with everything inside. See the world around us. This book's the perfect guide.
Dogs and cats are not allowed in this building. Security!
Stanley's feeling down and out. Can a falcon help him out?
Gotta run! Mimi's having a tea party and she's making crumpets. Yum!
Falcon. That begins with F. A, B, C, D, E, F. That's the one I saw.
That's a peregrine falcon.
Well, let's find out where they live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Into the book to have some fun. Whee! I guess you were right, Dennis. Falcons don't live in cities. We're on a mountain cliff.
Well, according to the book, long ago, falcons lived all over the country on mountain cliffs like this.
Wow, we sure are high up.
Yes, falcons like to lay their eggs up high, where their babies can be safe.
So falcons live on cliffs, not cities.
No, Stanley? Actually, you were right. Falcons now live in cities as well.
What? Why?
Well, years ago, people used a spray to get rid of bugs. The bug spray got into the falcons' food, and it made them very ill. Soon, there were fewer and fewer.
That's terrible, Dennis.
Yes, but people realized the bug spray was hurting birds and stopped using it.
But what about the falcons?
Well, scientists studying falcons found that they could live happily in high and safe places in cities. So they started raising falcons there.
But how can falcons live in cities?
It's because the peregrine falcon has learned to adapt.
What does that mean?
Adapt means to get used to a new place or situation. The city may be different, but they find a way to live and get what they need.
I get it. The peregrine falcon can keep its baby safe up high in a tall building, just like they did on high cliffs. They seem really happy in the city.
I think they are. Peregrine falcons have been so good at adapting that there are now more than 4,000 of them living in the United States.
I guess peregrine falcons learn to survive in the city even though it's different from what they're used to.
Yes, they adapted, Stanley.
But how do people adapt, Dennis?
Well, Stanley, people adapt in many ways. Often, a person can adapt to a new place simply by changing the way he looks at it.
Well, I guess I could give the big city another chance. I mean, if a falcon can learn to like the city, then so can I. Guess what, Grandma? You have the best neighbor ever.
Mr. Vasquez?
No, a falcon. I saw one out the window.
I didn't know falcons lived in cities.
They do now. They've adapted.
Really? How very smart of them. It's not always easy to adapt to a new place, but once you do, it can be a lot of fun.
Yep, that's why I'm gonna try and love this city, just like a falcon. I just don't know where to start.
I think maybe I could help you with that, Stanley.
Really? How?
Let me show you.
Wow, the city's so big.
Too big, Stanley?
No, Dad. I can see almost all of it from up here. It's so cool. Everyone's going somewhere or doing something. What a fun place.
Whoa, it's so loud out here. I can't even hear my CD. Is it always so noisy, Grandma?
It might be loud, but I think it's even better than my tape of jungle sounds. If you listen, you can hear all this stuff going on.
Can you help us name this sound?
I'm not sure what that is.
Do you know what it is?
A fire truck.
That's right.
All right, now for my surprise treat. I got us all tickets to a concert.
All right.
Wow. Listen, Grandma, there's a concert going on out here, too.
You're right, Stanley. You certainly are looking at the city in a whole new way, aren't you?
I sure am. I really like the city now. Thanks for showing it to me, Grandma.
Anytime, Stanley.
Here's us at the concert. Here's me and Grandma Harriet at the museum. And here we are at a baseball game. Oh, and here's when we took the Falcon from Grandma's window.
Wow! Who knew they lived in cities?
Not me, but when I learned that falcons like the city, I figured I could too.
Really, Stanley?
At first, I was a little scared of the city, and I didn't think it was any fun. But then I learned it's just a different kind of fun.
You adapted, just like a falcon. The city was different from their homes on the cliffs, but they found a way to make the city right for them.
I'm glad you enjoyed your trip, Stanley, but it's good to have you back home.
Yeah, dude. We had to learn to adapt at Mimi and Marcy's, too.
Really, Harry? How?
Mimi didn't have any milk, so I had to get used to drinking my tea with lemon.
Stay tuned for Guess How Much I Love You, coming up on Disney Junior.